Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to another speed paint. I turned my fan off today because I hate how the fan sounds in the background when I hear this afterwards. So I'm like just gonna die here for a little bit. It's so hot. I'm already sweating and it's only been off for less than a minute. Also, I thought everyone went to sleep and then suddenly the TV turned on just when I hit record, like right now. It turned on, so if you hear news in the background, that's my mother watching the news at 11 p.m. Oh joy. But yeah, hi, this is part one of my 6 fan arts on Instagram. If you don't know what 6 fan arts is, you're probably living under a rock. But it was like this challenge that was started like, I want to say a month ago, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. Time void, guys, time void. But basically you had your followers, just people suggest fan art ideas, and then you will draw them in this template you'll see here in this beautiful video. I decided to divide it in two because it was really long, and it was either like a really long video or it was just like a video so sped up that you could barely see what was happening. So I decided to split it into 3 in this video and 3 in Friday's video. And so today we have Kiki, Milena, I don't know how to pronounce her name, and Ghost from Hollow Knight. So those are the ones you'll see today. It was a lot of fun to do. I actually started a second 6 fan art that is probably never gonna see the light because I don't know how to draw anymore. Fun. But it was actually a lot of fun to do. I had a lot of fun just drawing these characters that most of them I would have never thought to just draw by myself. Like, if people hadn't suggested it to them, I would probably never have drawn them. But yeah, I hope you like them. They're all very different too, which is something I enjoy. You know me, I enjoy all my drawings being different because I don't know what a consistent art style is. Anyways, my mustache is sweating. What's up? How is life? I feel like I haven't recorded one of these in a while, even though the last one was just like Thursday. So that just feels like a long time ago right now. I'm watching this docu-series called Into the Criminal Mind, and by the way, I paused it, like I literally finished watching it. I paused it so I could record this. And I don't remember his name's cult leader just staring at me. It's just focused on his eyes, and it's really creepy. So I'm just not gonna look at my screen. But yeah, I was watching this docu-series on, it's just like every episode is like a different criminal type, I guess. Like the first episode was serial killers, the second episode was kidnappers, and then I'm in the third episode and it's cult leaders. And I don't know why I'm even talking about this, because wow, if you don't know anything about it and you were like don't like to hear about this, just like mute me or stop watching, turn this off, because I'm a little bit like upset right now after watching this. It's not a like raging upset, I'm gonna go on a rant about it, but it's just like weird how one-sided, because when I watch documentaries, docu-series, all that, just like even true crime YouTube videos, I like hearing, both sides of the argument. And that's like one of the things I like about Tiger King, that like they're all shady people, right? Like we can all agree they're all terrible people, but you hear like all the sides, right? Although I feel like some of them, it was a little bit more biased towards one side of the argument, but I think we can all agree that they're all shitty people, and the documentary or the docu-series just really wanted to make money off of Tiger King and did not care a little bit about the animals. I think we can all agree on that. So I usually like my docu-series or my documentaries to be like you hear about both sides. And I was watching another one the other day. I don't even remember what it was. I think it was the Gabriel Fernandez one was like really hard to see both sides of the argument on that one. But like I feel like most of the ones I watch, I get like a good perspective on like just not only the victim's family but also on like the criminal, whoever did the thing. But this one, at first, I watched the serial killer one and I watched the kidnapper one. And, like, in general, I knew about all those serial killers and all the kidnapping cases they talked about. They're, like, very recognized ones. They're, like, Ted Bundy or, like, Ariel Castro, which are all very, quote-unquote, popular. Hate saying that about them. But the cult ones, I think I know a little bit more about the cults. I knew about like 3 of the 4 quotes a lot that they spoke, and I just gotta say they were very one-sided. The first one was like the Manson family, which I know a lot about the Manson family because it's so fucked up, and I've read a lot about it. I watched a lot of videos about it, and I felt like it was kind of weird. Like they glossed over everything. It was kind of like you didn't really get any good information. All you got is like, there's this guy Charles Manson who was super crazy and he like had his followers kill people, and I feel like that's just kind of glossing over the whole Charles Manson thing, like grossly. It's just there's so much more to it, and I just felt like I didn't get any information. Like, And then they talk about Jonestown, and what pissed me off about Jonestown is because I know quite a bit about Jonestown, because a few months ago I had like watch a video and then had to read everything I could find about it moment with Jonestown. They called it, I don't want to say the docu-series in general called it a mass suicide, but someone called it a mass suicide. Let me tell you something. Jonestown was not a mass suicide. Whoever's saying Jonestown was a mass suicide, it's lying. It was a massacre. So that pissed me off. Because like Heaven's Gate, if you don't know about Heaven's Gate, oh my god, don't Google it. It's so sad. Don't watch the videos especially. But Heaven's Gate is the one, the cult that committed mass suicide when the Halley's Comet passed through Earth, because they thought like if they died then they would go to the comet and like live with their aliens. I don't want to like explain too much. Like if I want to explain it, it has to go really in depth, and I want to in depth, but like that's like a gross, that's kind of like what the documentary did with Charles Manson, just a very brief description. But that's what I would call mass suicide, because everyone in the group kind of was aware what they were doing, even though I can't say that they were mentally healthy and like completely capable of making that decision. I feel like nobody's capable of making that decision, but like they were aware, like they did it voluntarily. They mass suicide voluntary. But the Jonestown massacre, they were forced to kill themselves. It was either they drank the fucking cyanide or they got shot. There was like no options. It wasn't like they were all willing participants in a mass suicide. That's why I say it's not a mass suicide, it's a massacre. That guy, fucking Jim Jones, just killed everyone, and then he couldn't even kill himself. He couldn't even like drink the cyanide himself. He had like one of his guards shoot him. So trash person, obviously. We all know Jim Jones is trash. But it bothered me. I don't know. It really bothered me that they said it was a mass suicide, because it wasn't a mass suicide. And I think that's just giving like these people kind of, I don't want to say a reputation, but like just giving this description about these people that is inaccurate. Because most of them, I think, wanted to get out of Jonestown. If you don't know anything about this, I'm sorry. I'm just venting about this thing I just watched and nobody cares about it. While this 6 FANARTS is going on, and it's not related to the 6 FANARTS at all, but are this rants ever related to the SPEEDPAINTs anyways? And then I just watched, I watched one that I didn't know about, but before that I watched David Koresh and the Branch Davidians and the Waco siege, and that one really pissed me off, because they blamed it all on David Koresh. And let me, like, don't get me wrong, trash person, a lot of it was his fault, but like I feel like the agents and the FBI and whoever was involved, they were partly at fault, because one of them, like 2 of the people they were interviewing were like people who were part of the team that was like invading the place. I don't even remember what the place is called, with the Branch Davidians. And he said like, oh, nobody shot any bullets, but they shot thousands of bullets at us. And I'm pretty sure there's evidence that that's not true, because there were bullets. Like, you can tell when you fire a bullet where it came from, obviously. Like, I feel like that's like criminology 101 probably. Like, you shoot a bullet, you can see like just where it came from and where it went out. So I'm pretty sure there's evidence that there are bullets coming from the outside, and I don't think any of the Branch Davidians just went outside and just shot from the outside inside. That, I mean, that would probably be something they would do, but I don't think they did that. So I thought that was like, what the fuck, that's not true. I don't believe that. I don't believe that they didn't like do anything. They also like just threw tear gas in. I don't even know how tear gas works, but I'm guessing it's like a little bomb and then you throw it in and then tear gas. Is that how it works? I don't know. I don't know. My biggest reference for knowing this is movies, so probably not very good. But I feel like tear gas is very aggressive, especially considering there were children in there. And they didn't mention Janet Reno in this whole part about the Waco siege, which I'm like, okay, so they had to be paid not to mention her, because nobody talks about it without mentioning her. Okay, nobody, like, no, they didn't mention any of the big names, like big politician names, the big names in the government. So I thought like, oh, like maybe they wanted to include it, but all those big names were like, oh no, you're not gonna include that in your documentary, and just had to scratch it out. And it was very obvious. It was very one-sided, and I don't feel like, I feel like, yes, David Koresh, awful person, totally to blame for this, but he wasn't solely to blame. Okay, I think the other side was also really bad and stupid and took a lot of really bad and stupid decisions. The tear gas is a stupid decision, because it was, maybe if they were all adults inside, I could see like, okay, maybe like there are armed adults inside, but there were children inside. There were women who did nothing wrong there too. Like, most of the women were victims. So excuse me, but like, that pissed me off. And then the other one was one I've actually never heard of before, which is, I mean, I've heard about it before, but I didn't know a lot about it, because it's weird for me, because I'm usually really in knowing about cults for some reason. I don't know. I can't explain. Like, I feel like if you're into it, you understand me, but if you're like most of my friends and family who have no idea, they think like every time I mention something true crime related, they just look at me like, what the fuck is she into? Because I feel like most people just don't understand unless like you're into it. Like, thankfully the true crime community is like a huge community, and like you have a lot of people to talk to, but sometimes I just forget that it's not as normal as the internet, as the people I am hanging out with in the internet make it seem. Because in my group of people, talking about this is just like, oh, normal, and like most of them are into it too, but outside, not so much. So I don't know, I kind of just, I don't even know what originally I had planned to say on this video, but I just watched this and I'm like kind of pissed, because I really like hate misinformation and like when like big platforms or like something that's huge just puts out fake information or biased information, because I feel like people are really easily manipulated, and like they see something and they see, it's like what's his name, Stan what, the alien guy, Stan the alien guy. If you know anything about like ufology and like alien stuff, you know who Stan is. He's a piece of shit too, but he's a liar who says like he has had like 1 million alien encounters, and like he is a star child, whatever they're called, which means he's like, one of his parents was an alien. He's just a lot of bullshit. Like, I feel like he really is a stain in the alien loving community. Ooh, that sounds weird. Alien loving sounds weird, but you know what I mean, right? Like, just people who you know, want disclosure. I feel like he is a stain, and he has a documentary on Netflix, and in his documentary it's like they make him seem like he is just the smartest guy, and like everything that happened is facts and is totally proven, and they show like his videos like they're not totally fake, because he has this video, there's like this really famous video of like he's filming his window where he says it's a peeper, but it's actually an alien, but it's not actually an alien, it's like he made the alien and it's very obvious and people have recreated it. So when that documentary came out on Netflix, a lot of people just thought like because it's a documentary on Netflix, it must be true. You know, when it's not, it's clearly all lies. He's trash. So that's what I mean. Like, I hate when I feel like people just see something and that looks legit and they don't like do any background information. They're immediately like, oh, like this is the truth. And so I get heated up when I see shit like this and it's so biased and it's just like covering up stuff and it just it like irks me. So I just talked about 50 minutes about this. Wow. It's just, I'm sorry if you're not interested in this, but I just talk whatever's on my mind at the moment when I record this. So hopefully on Friday it's gonna be way better. And I feel like I'm always talking about negative things. Why? Well, I know why. I'm like the worst negative person ever. If you've been my friend for a long time, you know I'm like super negative. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I am sorry. Have a good day, good night, and I'll see you next time. Bye.